Well, a new study from the Pew Research Center is shedding light on the state of religion in America today. The Religious Landscape Study, based on a massive survey of some 37,000 adults, reveals that while the share of U.S. adults identifying as Christian has dropped significantly over the past 2 decades, the decline may finally be leveling off. At the same time, the religiously unaffiliated and those identifying with non-Christian faiths are reshaping the spiritual fabric of the nation. Joining us now to dive into these findings is Alan Cooperman, Director of Religion Research at Pew Research Center. Alan, thanks for being with us today. Good to have you.
Hey, Ken. Great to be with you.
You bet. Let's start with the big picture now. What does religion in America look like today, according to this new Religious Landscape Study, and what stands out to you as the most significant finding?
Well, still, the country is predominantly Christian, and in our numbers now, a little more than 6 in 10 Americans, 62%, identify as Christian. The second largest group, and the group that's really grown the most over the last few decades, is the group that doesn't identify with any religion, people who call themselves atheists or agnostics or just nothing in particular. And we sometimes call this group the nones, N-O-N-E-S. They're now 29% of the population.
And the study notes that the percentage of U.S. adults identifying as Christian has dropped. We used to be at 78% back in 2007. It's now 62%. Again, though, the decline has seemed to level off. Now, what do you think is causing it to level off? Is there some sort of a resurgence in Christianity that you see?
No, it would be too much to say there's a resurgence, but in the last 5 years or so, the numbers have hovered right around 62% for Christians and right around 3 in 10 for the nones, and that really is a difference. So what I'd say here is the big change is stability, and exactly why that has taken place is really hard to know. One theory could be that COVID had something to do with it, and the timing is coincidental. That's suggestive. The other thing that's really interesting, there's some evidence that what COVID did was to cement or solidify the importance of religion to people who were already religious. It isn't that it made people who weren't religious, but maybe it stopped the slide away from religion.
And maybe, and I'm just throwing out my little theory here too, the possibility that families were kind of forced to be together inside for a little bit more than they were, as opposed to everybody off doing their own thing, a kid at soccer practice, a mom doing one thing, a dad doing another, and everybody on their phones. They were kind of forced to be together a little bit. Maybe that, that's the foundation of what leads to faith. Just a theory, I'm throwing it out there. Maybe we could test that theory. New Jersey, of course, caught your attention in the study. Less Christian here than the national average, but also a higher share of people identifying with religions like Judaism, Islam, and Buddhism. So what makes New Jersey's religious landscape unique compared to the rest of the country?
Well, in a lot of ways, New Jersey looks like a lot of the rest of the country. In terms of beliefs and practices, it's pretty similar. For example, 42% of adults in New Jersey say they pray every day, and nationally it's 44%. The share of Christian in New Jersey is just maybe a hair lower. I don't even think that's necessarily statistically significant. It's right around 6 in 10. So it's not that New Jersey isn't majority Christian. It is. I think 2 things stand out about New Jersey. One is a higher share of Catholics. And now at this moment, when a lot of people are concerned about the health of the Pope, interesting to note, a third of adults in New Jersey identify as Catholic, 19% nationally, 33% in New Jersey. Also, you put your finger on another important thing, Ken. New Jersey is a cosmopolitan state, has a lot of immigrants. So not only is the share of Jews a little higher, but there's maybe the share of Hindus, Muslims, all the non-Christian religions put together, which are about 7% nationwide, about 12% of New Jersey adults.
By the way, one of the biggest Hindu temples in the nation, gorgeous, is right here in New Jersey. And it's worth a visit by anybody. Stunning. It's like basically the Vatican of Hindu temples, and it's right here in New Jersey. And by the way, the survey also touches...
Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Well, I was going to say, one more thing that's really interesting is that even though in a place like New Jersey, as in around the country, there are a fair number of people in New Jersey, it's 27% who don't identify with any religion. But I'll point out that in New Jersey, as in around the country, if we ask the question, do you think human beings have a soul or spirit apart from their body? 87% of people in New Jersey say yes. Nationwide, it's 86%, so that's the same. And what that means is that even among people who don't identify with any religion, a good number of them do hold some spiritual beliefs.
I'm just going to ask you with 5 seconds left, because I know you have other interviews to do. Where can they go for more information if they want to learn?
Go to our website at Pew Research, P-E-W, like the pews you sit in church, pewresearch.org, and look for the religious landscape study.
I know you're a busy man today. So Alan Cooperman, Director of Religion Research at Pew Research Center. Don't be a stranger. We love you coming on, and come back again. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Ken.